Now it's the beginning of April and my chilli seeds and sweet peppers have been growing really well. I'm so chuffed with them. They were a little bit slow coming up, but once they started, then they were very happy and then they just kept coming up. Now I've pricked out a load of them already, but I've left some and I'm going to show you how I'm going to prick them out. So I've got some here, they're called Midas. You can see there's quite a few there. And these, I've got a couple of little razzmatazz which have come up. I've pricked out the other varieties and they're sitting in the greenhouse behind you. And they are doing really well. Now when your chilli and sweet pepper seeds reach about this height, which is about an inch high, they've got their first little lots of baby leaves, but they haven't got any of their true leaves yet. Now is a good time to start pricking them out. So let me show you how I prick out mine. Now I'm going to prick the little seedlings out individually into these little square pots. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill them, each pot, with some multi-purpose compost. Make sure it goes all the way down to the bottom and give it a gentle pat down like this. That's just to fill up that last little bit up there. Okay, and then all I'm going to do is I'm going to get my pencil, because I like using my pencil, and I will just make a hole. You don't need to make the hole all the way down, you just need to make it, it's about an inch in, maybe an inch and a half. Now, we've got to get these little seedlings out. Use whatever your pointy thing that you're using, and just go choose which seedling you're going to take out. I'm going to pop my pencil in about a quarter of a centimetre, yes, about a quarter of an inch actually, away from the stem. At an angle, I will push it down and then gently coax it out. Now make sure that when you get hold of these seedlings, you get hold of them by just the leaf, not by the stem. So gently coax it out. And then, I'm going to have to do it like this, sorry. And then it should come out nice and easily. Now let's have a little bit of a look at this seedling. You can see there's a lovely long tap root down there, a nice strong stem and some lovely little leaves. Now, unlike a lot of other fruits and vegetables, these chilies need to be planted shallow. So you basically want them to be the same height that they were in the seed tray. So you want the root, all of the root below the soil, but the first little bit where the root joins the stem, that can be below the soil, but the rest of it has to be above. So we will just gently pop it in there, coax the root down like that, and just move the soil just to cover up the hole. As you can see, most of the stem is showing. If you put the stem down into the compost, it wouldn't like it, the plant wouldn't like it at all. So you need to make sure that you keep it above. So plant these in shallow. So I will carry on doing the rest of these. Just make sure that if you've got more than one variety, you label them correctly, otherwise you may end up eating a really hot chilli when you only wanted to have a sweet one. Right, well I have done all 6 Midas and I have done the 2 razzmatazz. I've had a quick look through the compost in the compost tray that the seedlings were in, just to see if there are any more starting to germinate, and there aren't. So I know that I didn't sow many. I sowed the last few of the various ones that I had. So I know that for some I didn't have many seeds at all. Now, once you've pricked out a load, if you have a gentle look, I mean, use your pencil and just gently sort of move the compost, just sort of a little bit at a time. And if you do see a load of seeds starting to germinate, just gently level that compost off again and put it back and wait for another week or 2 weeks and then prick out some more. You can do that. They all germinate at ever such a slightly different time. So don't worry, don't think, oh gosh, I've got to prick them all out in one go. If some aren't quite ready, level the soil off, give them a little water, and then they will continue to grow. Well, these I will give my little seedlings, I will give them a nice water, and they will stay in the greenhouse. Hopefully in about, I don't know, what are we, April, May, June, maybe a couple of months, they will be big enough to put into bigger pots, which will be their final pot. When all the other bits and pieces get to move outside, then I'll be shifting stuff around in the greenhouse, the stuff that has to stay in here, like the chilies. But when I do all of that, I will show you. It might be a little earlier, it just depends on the weather. Well, I hope you are growing chilies or sweet peppers. Whichever ones, they need to be pricked out in exactly the same way. Well, I hope you found what I've shown you useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.